Attention hyperactivity disorder is a common neurodevelopmental disorder most commonly diagnosed in children. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the average age of diagnosis is 7, and boys are twice as likely to be diagnosed with ADHD than girls. It was originally called hyperkinetic impulse disorder. It was previously known as an abnormal defect of the moral control in children.
Hi, my name is Evelyn. I'm 9 years old and I go to Hampstead, and that's my favorite school ever.
In the 1930s, a famous pediatrician found that children affected could not control their behaviors the way typical children could, but they were still intelligent. It wasn't until the late 1960s that the American Psychiatric Association formally recognized ADHD as a mental health disorder.
He's hyper right now, so...
Do you know anybody else who's hyper?
Yes, me.
Okay, so first there were issues with her motor skills, which we found out at daycare at the end, just before she started elementary school.
Okay.
So when she started in elementary school, her teacher said that she talks a lot, that she's not focusing, and her lack of motor skills was an issue. But the teacher at that time had a system of green, yellow, and red. There were 4 students that had the same issues as Evelyn, and those 4 students stood out. So she would come out of school and have red and be super stressed and crying, not because of a behavior issue, because she didn't understand.
Wow.
Yeah. So every day it was the crying, the struggling, the hating to fail. She didn't want to do her work because she figured if I don't do it, then
I can't fail,
right? So it continued. The struggle was through all of kindergarten, you know, and there was no improvement.
You ever had a teacher be not nice to you?
Named Monsieur Hamed.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't really nice to me. He was my French teacher, and he wasn't nice to me at all. He was like once I went to the bathroom, but then when I came back, he threw my eraser on my shoulder. He threw my pencil down and made me get it like a dog, and then he threw my eraser, like I was sitting at my desk, and he threw my eraser. This was my old school, like Denver. He threw it and I had to go pick it up, and it hit my shoulder and it hurt.
Why do you think he did that? What would she say?
She was like, "Oh my God, hurry up, I'm so embarrassed of you."
Wow. And how did that make you feel?
Really sad. I would sweat.
You would sweat?
Yeah, and it's weird because I never sweat before.
Because it didn't make you feel good, right?
Yeah, it's like I never sweat before, but my hands are getting like all soggy and wet. And I cry a lot of times, but I don't like crying at school because it's just not good. And she's really mean to me, and my mom, she had it, but I don't want my parents to get involved because or else the teacher will get too mean. And just in front, this is really, really weird. In front of someone, in front of another teacher, she would act all nice and innocent. But and then when the teacher leaves, she's acting all mean. But I couldn't do technologies when I was in grade 3.
How come?
It was just hard for me. I didn't really know how to read in English, but now I do. And it's just hard for me now.
Ready? How do you write la? Children with ADHD often struggle with homework due to some of the symptoms, such as inattention, hyperactivity, and impulsivity, as well as difficulty concentrating and remaining focused. Let me see. You got it right, kiddo. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Une. Next is une. Maison.
Oh, that's easy.
We started her on medication for ADHD. Medication wasn't successful because it would make her not eat, so she would be tired and get sleepy in the classroom, and she still felt like a fog, like she was watching TV and there's no reception. Then we changed her medication a few times. She was burning through it, so we still had issues with concentration and focusing.
Forget lots of stuff once I'm gonna bring.
Do you do anything to help you remember stuff?
I don't really know what to do, but I actually have a good memory, but I forget stuff. It's like I have a good memory for like a long time, and I'm like, oh, I remember I had to bring that. Oh, and then I forget.
Remember everything. Anything that affects her, anything that she's interested in, she'll have an awesome memory for it. When she's not interested in it,
Won't stick.
It won't stick. Yeah. But again, it was a classroom, sitting down, watching your teacher. I went back to school and we had to switch schools for her because I couldn't take her to that school anymore. And we sent her to Roslyn. And that's where it went downhill.
It's like I have a friend, I'm trying to be her friend, but then she's like not like talking to me. She's like, no, I don't want to be your friend, and then I just go on and try to make more friends.
There was a lot of bullying, a lot of making fun of her, kids on the school bus picking on her. There was no feedback from teachers, even though I tried from the first day.
I think that teachers can stop bullying.
Not really.
I spoke to teachers explaining to them that she needed cueing to bring her books home, that she needed like some form of repetitiveness for her to remember. They never followed through. During parent-teacher interviews, again, I said she needs cueing. She's not bringing her books home. I don't know what homework she has. They said that they would, help with that. Again,
Never
nothing. Cases of bullying got worse to the point where I went to the principal. The principal said, "Oh, I don't understand." But it wasn't just bullying with students; it was bullying with the teacher. And Evelyn would cry, get sick on Wednesday because it was on Thursday that class. At first, I didn't know what to make of it. I didn't know if she was over-exaggerating.
Yeah.
So I found one parent that I exchanged phone numbers with, and I asked the parent to ask their daughter if she had any issues with that teacher. I didn't say what the issues I suspected were. That parent texted me back verbatim of what my daughter told me what was going on with the classroom. So I knew there was an issue. That she loses herself going back into the classroom, that she doesn't focus, that she seems, to be insecure and whatnot. And, but they had no plan to help her.
Wow.
Absolutely not.
So
They
observation, but no plan.
Right. So they recommended Hampstead School. So they pretty much washed their hands of her. I felt like my daughter lost a year, which was grade 3. So we decided I don't want my daughter to be in a school that doesn't cater to what she needs
Doesn't
or
support
understand what she needs, which is what I felt. When I asked them why I never got a note telling me that my daughter didn't accomplish any homework, they weren't even aware she hadn't done her homework.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the school failed you?
I feel like they
your
failed
daughter?
Evelyn. They failed Evelyn. They refused to understand. A lot of teachers mistake kids with attention issues as misbehaving.
Yes.
Or
That's true.
wanting to cause an issue or trouble. They don't understand that a kid doesn't want to not succeed. Doesn't want to feel outside of what her friends are doing in school. And they know when they're not doing better. They know when their friends are progressing and they're not.
You think she can pick up on it?
Of course. They feel it. And also when it's made public, like in the kindergarten case, they know, other friends know that they got read. And they have that special do-it time with the special homework that only 4 kids in that class had.
And do you think that puts her aside from other kids
Of
when
course.
she gets like a different grade and it's
Yeah,
made
because
public?
that also leaves open to other kids making fun. So we moved her to Hampstead with hopes that it would be a better choice. But we didn't feel like we had a choice, not in the public system.
Yeah.
And something amazing happened. Her confidence. She started getting excited about doing homework, which was never something I had before. She would be happy to imitate her teacher. She would try to teach me her homework so she feels more confident in herself. And that's the difference. Now there's confidence. There's a bit of excitement doing homework. It's not such a negative thing. Speed has picked up. Even though her grades aren't what you want for your kid, but what are grades? They don't see grades anymore. By the way, there's a new grading system. at Hampstead. They do it by color.
Oh, nice.
So what they do is they take a percentage of the grade, and that's the color. And that means there's a way to improve to go to the next color.
Remember how sometimes you tell me you have a hard time focusing at school?
Uh-huh.
What is that like for you?
Getting
Like-
better.
Yeah?
It's just that when like one person makes a noise, like let's say I'm working in class and people like start talking and moving their feet like this, it's like not focusing me, and I asked the teacher if I could take like a brain break. If you guys are wondering what's a brain break, it's something that you take that like if your brain is not focusing and or if you work too much. Yeah, you could take a candy if you're feeling sick at my new school. But a brain break is like they have these little, like it's like a treadmill, but it's like a bicycle that you go like this.
Okay.
It's like that. They have for like small.
A specialized IEP program, which means that if she's doing a test and there's 20 questions on this test, she only has to answer 10. So she finishes on time with her class. They also know that she can't sit down on her chair, so they let her sit on the floor on a beanbag. She gets a teacher helper to sit next to her, and friendship-wise, she's made some friends and maintained friends. So kids with ADHD don't maintain friends very easily. They can make them easily because they're very outgoing and friendly and exciting to be around, but they can easily annoy other children because of it. But this year, she's actually maintained a few friendships, which is nice. Classroom where not everybody has it easy and others are struggling too. So she's not feeling
And it's
alone.
normalized.
Right. So she's not feeling like she's, stupid.
Do you think your daughter felt like she was stupid?
Yeah. At Roslyn, she would cry every night. She wanted to die, which was not easy for her mom to hear your kid saying that to you. She wanted to get violent with people that were not nice to her, so that too scares you. And when the school doesn't do anything about it, you're feeling helpless as a parent. So, and they feel that from you. Kids are not stupid. They feel everything you feel, even if you think you're hiding it. And they know.
Especially yours.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes I would think she would pretend to tell me she had a good day, so she wouldn't see my frustration. It's very hard. It's very hard to drop off your kid when you're scared. You're scared of how they're gonna feel or how their day's going, and not too many people understand that struggle. So, if she walks out of there with nothing but confidence, even if she can't read, I'm okay.
Because that's better than having a child at home telling
Right.
you that they,
Right.
that they're done.
That they're done. Yeah.
True or false, Evelyn is very, very pretty.
True.
Okay. True or false, Evelyn is very, very smart.
True. Is
True
everything
or
true?
false, Evelyn is very, very helpful.
True.
True or false, Evelyn has a lot of friends.
True.
True? Okay. And when you were at your school before, did you feel like you had a lot of friends?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you
No.
feel
No. I was trying to feel like it, but and then I was like, no.
Okay. Did you feel smart when you were at your other school?
No. False.
And do you think the teachers could have helped you feel better?
They weren't really, no. False.
Do you wish they had helped you?
Yes. True.
Do you think that it would have been easier for you to go to school every day if the teachers had helped you?
Yes. I wouldn't, because like once I was crying not to go to my old school.
Mm-hmm.
I was asking my mom, please don't let me go there.
And why didn't you want to go?
Because it was technology day that day and it was like all horrible.
And do you like school now?
Yeah.
If my kid can get up in the morning and wake up happy, that's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important.